Hello everyone. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. It would really help the channel out quite a bit. Thank you very much.
Adventurers, attention! Fall in for Adventure Parade! The Mutual Broadcasting System cordially invites all adventurers from 6 to 60 to join in its parade of the world's most famous stories. Stories of action, mystery, and adventure. And here is your host and storyteller, the leader of Adventure Parade, John Gray. Thank you, George Hogan, and hello, adventurers. Our story this week is about a group of pilgrims who sought refuge from religious persecution in Liden, Holland, and then set sail for England in the Speedwell, where they would join in their voyage to America by another ship, the Mayflower. Now back to Southampton Harbor in autumn of the year 1620, for the final transcribed chapter of The Bells of Liden Sing. Storming at Southampton, both outside and in. Yet Andrew Brewster, crouched on a berth in one end of the main cabin of the Mayflower, to which he and his mother had been assigned, decided that storm or no storm, he would have to go ashore and find out what had happened to his father. Andrew had been so busy with his own thoughts and fears, he had paid little attention to the angry quarrel going on in the cabin. But now men's voices were raised in bitterness, and Pastor Robinson faced the agent of the Merchant Adventurers Company. You have tricked us with your promises, Weston. You had no idea of helping us. You've only been thinking of yourselves. Weston, you are plotting against us, and agreed to conditions which will make us slaves for years, bonded servants instead of free men. Thomas Weston, agent for the Merchant Adventurers Company, who was to finance the Pilgrim's new settlement, stood up.
Master Robinson, had I not agreed to these conditions as your agent, I would not have this money for you now. We don't want money that will make us slaves, Weston. We've come this far. We've sold all our property to buy the Mayflower and the Speedwell, and we'd sooner sail with low provisions than be helped under your conditions. Very well, that's your answer. All let it be. From this hour on, you stand on your own legs. I have had enough of you Bible-thumping psalm singers.
Weston turned and flung himself out of the cabin, and Andrew took the opportunity to slip out behind him. On deck, the wind and rain swept through the slipping rigging that drenched them both. Weston paused when he reached the edge of the gangplank.
Right. That'll give them something to think about. Where will they get their harbor charges now?
Harbor charges?
Huh? Yes, sir. 100 pounds these pilgrims owe for 10 days they've anchored here. They don't have 100 pennies in their pockets. Well, I'm through with the lot of them.
They're good people, Mr. Weston.
You say that because you're one of them. But for me, they've been nothing but complainers.
They don't like the Mayflower. They don't like the food from London.
And they don't like the settlers the Merchant Company wants to send along with them. Well, let them then take over their own planning and see how they like that.
And we need 100 pounds before we can sail?
Hi, 100 pounds. And you can add 10 more pounds to that for every day it takes them to figure out where the money's coming from. 100 pounds. The strength that after all our trials, our voyage should be stopped by this.
Master Robinson.
Yes? Who's there?
It's Andrew Brewster, sir. I'm over by the gangway.
You ought to be in your bunk this time of night, Andrew.
I was waiting here. I thought perhaps my father would come.
Oh, I see.
We won't sail without him, will we, Pastor? Well, you know, there's a price on William Brewster's head, lad. King James wants him taken in connection with certain books printed in Holland.
I know.
The books which won us so much sympathy.
Pastor, where's my father now?
Andrew, there's a second mate coming aboard in the morning. He may be able to tell you something about it.
Are we going to sail tomorrow?
Well, the question is, are we going to sail at all? I'll not sign papers that will make us slaves once we got to America. And yet 100 pounds. 110 by dawn.
Isn't there something aboard the ship we could sell?
What? Our clothes, our furniture, our tools? We cannot go barehanded into the wilderness.
What about my father's books? Mother didn't want to take them along, but Elder Bradford did.
The books are aboard?
Yes. Mother made a bargain with Elder Bradford. 80 tubs of butter and cheese from Liden, she said. You put 80 tubs aboard, or I won't pack the books.
80 tubs of fresh Liden butter, each one worth £2. Andrew Brewster, Andrew, my thanks to you, lad.
Pastor Robinson, you're not going to sell the butter.
Of course, lad. It was a splendid idea.
But what will Mother say?
The next morning, 55 tubs of butter and cheese were unloaded from the Mayflower and the Speedwell and carted off to Southampton market. Everything was in readiness to set sail, and when a swarthy sailor with a long black mustache darted past the King's Guard up the gangway, Pastor Robinson gave the signal.
Well, thank you, Captain Jones. Our second mate's arrived. Thank you. Pastor Robinson.
What is it, Andrew?
You said there'd be news of my father before we sail.
There is all the news you need, lad. Don't let grease paint and the false mustache fool you.
I don't understand.
Look, over there. Our new second mate, waving to you. The passage to America was still not meant to be smooth for the pilgrims. Once and then a second time, after leaving Southampton, the Speedwell signaled distress, and they were forced to turn about and land on English shores again. Then at last the Mayflower set sail alone, with somehow or other a goodly number of the Speedwell's passengers and gear crowded into her. The ship's hold was not large enough for the baggage. It was everywhere. Andrew's own chest was lashed in a dark space between decks at the end of a passage, and here he often made his bed. In good weather it was pleasant, but when the weather was bad, the chicken coops were piled nearby, and the hot, wet animal odors made the air thicker. The weather, for the most part, was stormy, almost from the beginning. Cold porridge, a pickled egg, a little Holland cheese, and a snatch of half-cooked bacon, a hunk of cold cabbage, and a cold turnip was all the food allotted to each person per day. There was no butter, of course. Precious few tubs remained, and these were being hoarded for the new world. Pangs of hunger, accompanied by fits of nervous temper, grew steadily worse, like the seas and the driving wind. Halfway across, the real difficulties began. The wind blew from every corner of the heavens, and blackboard struck. The waves battered and rammed the deck. None of the passengers were allowed outside. The portholes were kept closed. One sailor died and was buried at sea. And after the funeral, Andrew sensed a kind of fear beginning to steal over the crew. One bitter cold afternoon, a wave swept up and over the whole length of the ship, and water suddenly reached down on the hapless passengers crowded in the cabin. The ship rolled and creaked, and with a sound like a cannon shot, there came a sinister cracking.
Captain Jones, the beam in the main cabin is splitting.
Captain Jones rushed in to see the damage.
A good post set firm on the floor here is what that beam needs. If we had an iron jack of some kind, we might spring the beam back into place.
What else Captain Jones said, Andrew never heard, for he was running down the companionway to get his chest, but it was wedged fast and tied with innumerable knots.
Help me, somebody, please. Oh, dear, and the ship's breaking in two upon us. Are you deaf, lad?
The sailors would pay no attention to the frantic boy, but suddenly Andrew saw the swarthy second mate.
Help me, Father, please, help me.
Yes. What is it, Andrew?
I'm trying to get the screw of the printing press. I brought it, and we can use it to brace the main beam.
The screw? The great screw, Andrew?
Yes, Father.
Oh, thank God.
Hold there, sailors! Lend a hand here, and make haste.
The screw of the Brewster press was in place. Set firm on wooden blocks, it held the beam above it in position. But for how long it would hold, no one knew. The pilgrims were for going on. And Captain Jones, although he didn't oppose their plans, did not fail to advise them of their danger.
It's true that holding the beam, it looks like a good one.
It is, sir. I saw them cast it. Of the best Liden iron.
Well, it's easy to take your word for it, lad. However, if we go on, it'll have to stay where it is. For we'll not be able to fashion another beam in America. It will have to stay for the voyage back to England.
Then it must be so. The screw is yours, Captain Jones. Somehow, some way, I'll find another printing press.
Andrew looked at the great iron screw where it stood in the shadow of the heavy block, then stumbled outside with his dog Pompey trooping at his heels. The sailors were going about their business, for the captain had given them their orders, and Andrew could see the torn sails being replaced with new ones. The wind pushed at the snapping canvas. White water began to foam at the ship's stern. The Mayflower continued to sail west. Andrew picked up Pompey and held his warm body, first against one of his cold ears and then against the other, trying to stop the ringing in them caused by the bitter air.
It must be my imagination, Pompey. But I can almost hear the bells of Liden singing. They must be ringing now over the city. Israel, the bookseller, hears them. Rembrandt does. Professor Polyender. Even old Squint Eye, if he's there, too. Pompey, I think I'll always hear them in my memory.
The Bells of Liden sing, transcribed by Catherine Coblet.
The Pilgrims really had a tough time of it, didn't they?
Yes, George. They had to fight for what they wanted, freedom of speech and worship, both of which are worth fighting for. Now about next week.
I was just going to ask you what we're doing.
Well, next week we're doing the exciting story of a man who carried a message through the enemy's ranks under constant fire. It's Michael Strogoff by Jules Verne. Now till Monday, so long.
So long, John. We'll all be listening Monday. Same time, same station. For Chapter 1 of Michael Strogoff by Jules Verne on Mutual's Adventure Parade. Adventure Parade is produced and directed by Robert and Jessica Maxwell. Music is composed and played by John Garth. The Bells of Liden Sing was adapted for Adventure Parade by permission of Longman Screen and Company.
Hey everyone, Randy here. Well, the channel reached the point with subscribers where I could apply for monetization through YouTube. But when I did, they said,
No, no, no!
There was a couple of reasons, but the main reason was that the content was not uniquely mine. Since I am not the original content creator, and that I have not changed the content enough or voiced over the content, they would not allow me to make money through them by using the partnership program and adding commercials for compensation. So if you enjoy listening to the channel and the old time radio shows that I make available on this channel, please consider donating to help keep the channel going. I've added the above link under each show description to make it easier for you to donate. Thanks very much, and I appreciate you all listening.